Coming up on this episode of Coffee Talks, we're going to dive into the very serious topic of mental health. That's coming up right now. What's up? I'm Dron, and I'm the student pastor here at Alive Youth, and you are watching Coffee Talks, where in 10 minutes or less, we talk about a topic or subject or question or issue, and we discuss it, and then we go and see what the Bible has to say about that topic. Today's topic is the incredibly important and very serious topic of mental health. So I want to ask you a question. How are you doing? And I want to answer that question for you because I bet you answered this way. I'm fine. And some of you actually mean you're fine. Others of you, you're anything but fine. Your life is falling apart around you. The world as you know it is not okay. And yet you continue to answer, I'm fine. So I want to ask you that question again. How are you actually doing? But this time I want those words to go past your ears and to seep into your brain. And I want you to think about it. And maybe for some of you, for the first time in a long time, or maybe even ever, you begin to be honest enough with yourself to say, you know what? I'm actually not okay. My world is falling down around me, and I'm not okay. If that's you, I just want to encourage you. One, it's okay not to be okay. It is absolutely okay not to be okay. We live in a world that has made us believe that asking for help is a sign of weakness, and that not even asking for help, but your life not looking absolutely perfect is bad. Social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, the world we live in only furthers these things. And as you get on day in and day out and you scroll through and you see that picture that perfectly sums up everything you want to be. You see that girl that you want to be like. She's your definition of beautiful and you want to look like her. Or you see that guy who's popular and you want to be like him. Or you see that person who has tons of money or fame or whatever it is, and they've posted this perfectly edited, perfectly taken shot, or they've posted this perfectly edited, perfectly taken video, and you just dream about what it would be like if your life was like that. In reality, that person's life probably isn't that way. You may not realize that it took them 200 times to take that photo for it to be perfect. And then it got me thinking about something else in my life. If you know me, you know that I eat, sleep, and breathe Apple. I love Apple products. And I take care of my Apple products. And I know a lot about them. I can fix broken screens and broken things. If they're physical, like on the exterior, and if they're internal, I know how to fix software and things like that. But it made me think of how true and yet sad it is the way that we view our lives in the world we live in, very similarly to the way that we view our electronics or our phones. Because I know right now that you're probably watching this on your phone, and if you're not watching this on your phone, you are not far from your phone. It's sitting next to you in bed or on the coffee nightstand or on the table or somewhere within arm's reach you can get to it. And you take care of that phone. You know where it is all the time. You keep it in a protective case. You wipe the screen clean. You take care of that phone. But what if that phone stopped working? Yeah, on the outside it looked great and it was beautiful and it was perfect. But what if something on the inside stopped working? Maybe it was a hardware issue. Maybe it was software. But the phone stopped doing what it was designed and created to do. What then? Because I've had that happen, and it was the most frustrating time of my life to realize that I couldn't fix a problem and I had to send my phone off, even though on the outside it looked in pristine condition, that nothing was wrong with it. On the inside, something was broken and it wasn't working the way that it was created to work. And I had to send it off to Apple, and I had to have them fix it and send it back to me. And I thought, how sad is it that that's the world we live in? That you and I, that there are people that we are walking around bumping shoulders with day in and day out, who are trying to live the perfect life, that are afraid to ask for help even though their life is falling apart. We're like a bunch of phones that are all in the same room, in the same vicinity, and we all look great on the outside, but we all have this crazy flaw that something's broken on the inside and the phone's not working the way that it's supposed to work, that our life isn't working the way that God intended our life to work. And that problem's called sin. And when sin inhabits our life, bad things happen, and it destroys the trajectory of our life. It makes us depressed. Relationships, break up and break apart. Things just go wrong. And if that's you today, if you find yourself in a spot where you're like, my life is falling down around me, I want you to, know that it's absolutely okay not to be okay. I think we need to talk more about mental health than we do currently in our society. I think we need to be okay to say, I need help. And I think we need to be okay with offering help to those people who are not okay. But then it got me thinking about the way that God intended and created us to be. That if he created us and something's broken, how he intends to fix it. Because the whole purpose and the whole point of these coffee talks is to remind you, and sometimes even me, that the God of the universe, the God that created everything around you, including yourself, doesn't make mistakes. And he's a very big, large, powerful God. And yet at the same time, he's a very personal God. And so if you find yourself in a spot today where the world is falling down around you, one, I want you to know that it's absolutely okay not to be okay. I want you to reach out to me, to our student ministry, to a leader, to a friend, to a coach, someone that you trust. Reach out and admit that you're not okay. That doesn't make you weak. In fact, it takes so much more strength to tell someone that than it does just to be silent and to silently be alone and try to figure out life. But two, I also want you to know that there's a God that cares very deeply about you, and that there is something in the Bible to say about being okay. And it's this beautiful group of verses found in Psalm chapter 139. And here's what I want you to do. I'm going to put it up on the screen, but I want you to pause the video right now, and I want you to grab your phone that's like literally right next to you. And I want you to open the Bible app or download the Bible app and open it. Or go get a physical Bible if you have it. Come back and unpause the video when you get to when you get to Psalm chapter 139. Because we're going to read the entire chapter together, because I think this chapter is something that someone needs to hear today, and it could be a huge encouragement to you. So pause the video if you need to, go get that, come back and hit play. Okay, you got your phone with the Bible app or your physical Bible. Psalm 139 says this: "You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit down and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all of my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. You hem me in, behind, and before, and you lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me, too lofty for me to attain. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will hide me, and the light become night around me, even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like day, for darkness is as light to you. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you. When I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth, your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book. Before one of them came to be, how precious to me are your thoughts, God. How vast is the sum of them. Were I to count them, they would outnumber the grains of sand. When I awake, I'm still with you. If only you, God, would slay the wicked. Away from me, you who are bloodthirsty. They speak of you with evil intent. Your adversaries misuse your name. Do I not hate those who hate you, Lord, and abhor those who are in rebellion against you? I have nothing but hatred for them. I count them my enemies. Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. I love this chapter in Psalm because it's a beautiful, very intimate conversation between the psalmist and the creator of the universe. And so if you find your spot or yourself in a spot today where you're not okay, first, that is absolutely okay not to be okay. But second, it's not okay to remain that way. Read 139. Read Psalm 139 and reread it until you begin to hear the words go further than your ear and deep into your brain, and you begin to process what they mean. The God of the universe knows you and created you intimately, that he doesn't make mistakes, that he is for you, not against you. My challenge to you this week, if you find yourself in a spot, is to, one, admit to yourself that you're not okay, but to admit to someone else that you're not okay. And to every time that you feel that feeling inside of you that screams sadness or depression or whatever that feeling is, that you would open your Bible to Psalm 139 and that you would read it. And you would reread it and reread it if you need to, until you begin to feel that peace and that calm that only the Lord can provide. It's okay not to be okay. It's not okay to stay that way. I hope today's video was challenging. I hope that it was an encouragement, especially to those who find yourself in a stage of life or a season of life where you're just not okay. Do not ever be afraid to reach out and ask for help. Feel free to comment below the video if that's something you need, or message us. Do whatever you have to do to get a hold of someone and ask for help. If you're not subscribed to our channel, make sure that you click the subscribe button, and always, of course, click the bell icon to make sure that you don't miss out on any of our brand new Coffee Talk uploads that happen each and every Thursday. If you have a topic that we haven't covered that you think we should, go ahead and drop it in the comments. We'll read through those and we'll do our best to get those in the queue of questions or topics that we do coming up on future episodes of Coffee Talks. But until then, don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help. We'll see you guys next time right here on Coffee Talks.